welcome everybody to this afternoon's session. I'm Arn Sarega, an associate at Diamond Schmitt Architects. First of all, I wanted to introduce Chris Ballard, who's the CEO of Pacifist Canada, Louise Becerra, Manager Education, Training and Development at Pacifist Canada, Christina Pescoa, an architect and certified pacifist designer at Diamond Schmitt Architects, who is central in organizing this latest group to become pacifist certified. And finally, I wanted to welcome and congratulate our newest pacifist group of trained staff at Diamond Schmitt, Cecily, Diana, Fernanda, Hallie, Jeffrey, John, Judith, Justin, Mike, Nazanin, Persis, Peter, Sarah, and Zvonimir. And I will now pass the session on to Chris Ballard. Chris?
Hi, well, thank you very much, and glad to join with this group this afternoon as we celebrate your achievements, which are quite significant when it comes to Pacifist Institute designer consultants. You know the amount of work you had to go through to be successful, and I wanted to congratulate you all in person and say good work on your part. And this is really quite a hallmark day, I think, for you and for Diamond Schmitt, quite frankly, as it shows leadership in the Pacifist Institute building standard world. And we're so delighted to see so many people from one organization take the program together. It really shows us that your firm is committed to the Pacifist Institute building standard, and the path forward that this shows us when we deal with the issues we face today, whether it be environmental or simply building better for folks who inhabit the buildings that you create. You know, I will say that I have always looked up to and architects. I had the privilege of in the early days working in a building, the Scarborough Civic Center, if any of you are familiar with that, in Scarborough, Ontario, now part of Toronto, that was designed by Raymond Moriyama and opened in 1973. And what a difference that building made in our lives, those of us who got to work in it. And so I've always appreciated it. Opened my eyes to the necessity of good architecture, opened my eyes to the great work that you folks do. And I know that especially since joining Pacifist Canada, we have our members are primarily architects and engineers, but I find our architects are so passionate about improving the world we live in through good design. So congratulations again to all of you for choosing the Pacifist Institute building standard and Pacifist Canada as your instructor. And welcome to Pacifist Canada. We hope that you'll be a part of this growing family, and it is indeed a growing family. We are educating literally thousands of people each year here in Canada as high performance net zero buildings grows, especially in central Canada now. So you've made a great career choice by taking this training. I think Diamond Schmitt has done a great thing by investing in you to take this training. And I look forward to meeting you all individually down the road when we're able to meet in person again at a conference, at a workshop, or at an event. So once again, congratulations. Thank you very much for working with us and the Pacifist Institute building standard and Pacifist Canada. And that's what I've got to say for now. Thank you very much, everyone. So the first question I would have for folks is do you see this certification as a shift in how you view design in the future?
I think as a firm, we believe in the fundamentals of Passive House, which is sensible design, good detailings, making sure the envelope is done right, which is we've learned it from school, but in real life there's so many excuses from various organizations, or just technicality of building things easy on site but sacrificing the performance. I think as a firm, we believe in good detailings, and we really wanted to push the better detailings within the whole office. We really wanted to utilize the experience and the knowledge that we've learned from Passive House into even non-Passive House projects. I mean, the ultimate goal is to put forward good details on all projects, and make the world a bit of a better place. Again, not just for Passive House project, but on all other projects. And we think that having a good amount of people getting the certification really set a standard within our office, and hopefully more other staff will be interested in this, and we can continue to push this agenda forward.
What was most helpful for me is understanding, or giving me like certain limits or requirements to achieve like a sustainable goal. I think before I took the program, I think I was kind of floating on like, okay, well, how good is good, and like how far do you go? And so I think something that helped with Passive House is kind of provide a benchmark to work towards, which I find incredibly useful, and something that you can take on kind of any future project that you work towards in the future.
I can add a little bit. I think that it's the beginning of like design being fully immersed within, I don't think the future of design is without energy conscious design. I think the future of design is going to require a design mindset that always thinks about and always incorporates some sort of energy conscious attitude. And Passive House is one of the huge leaders, I think, in that regard.
Absolutely.
I started kind of down the path of Passive House a long time ago. And I've always seen it not just as a standard to meet, but kind of building on our fundamentals for architecture, right? It's a standard that we can use as a fundamental baseline that we can push forward. And I think it's a shift in the industry, yes, but it's just building on what we know and providing us the means to implement kind of more baseline fundamentals to make the architecture better.
I know I know all the focus today is around energy efficiency, energy savings, but I like to remind people that the Passive House Institute standard really started off as a comfort standard and a health standard. And it reminds us, and as architects, this, but it certainly reminds us that the whole idea around building isn't just around putting something up, it's around creating space for people. And so I like to remind people, and I like to remind myself, that what we're doing really is about people and how we create a healthy, comfortable, and energy efficient place for them to live in and to work in. So really good comments from all of you. Why did you think it was important to become certified as a team?
We have a group in the office that first were certified in 2017, and we formed a committee, and we said we did that as a group, and that was really helpful for studying for the exam. But also, when you have a group of individuals who are all working on different projects, you can pass that knowledge on to each team that they're working on. So Nigel and I and Arn were part of a Passive House committee, submitted a budget to the office and said, we'd like this year to have so many people certified. And then we looked at individuals and what projects they were working on and their level of experience in the office, and how can we get that knowledge passed on to more people. Mm-hmm. The online, this was all COVID studying, so it'd be interesting to see, our sessions were in person, the studying group, support group was in person, and all of these individuals were able to do this remotely, working from home, which is pretty great.
Even though we didn't get a chance to get together, we had our MS Teams chat for questions. So we had our own internal chat going, and we had so much support from Christina, from Nigel, from the group, from Arn, from the group that did it a few years ago. That was really, really helpful to guide us. Even though we didn't have the benefit of being beside our peers, we got the benefit of having the videos, which was helpful when you're busy at work to spend time reviewing the content to prep for 120C and even after. So that was, I think, one of the pluses of having an opportunity to do it remotely.
Having this number of you certified all together, is this a catalyst at all, a catalyst for change within the organization, do you think?
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, we have goals, 2030 goals, and hopefully earlier goals. And so Passive House provides you with that fundamental understanding of how can we control the envelope and reduce energy consumption.
But really, I look forward to a day when Passive House PHI standards are the base, and we need to go beyond that. There's more that we can be doing on top of our PHI standards. There's all sorts of things we need to be dealing with around embodied carbon, for example. So it's a really good foundation. And I know our members, they build to a variety of different standards. They may be PHI certified, but they do LEED buildings, and they do inner quality buildings and green home buildings. Those are green building standards, but they all aspire to PHI. And so, as Nigel said earlier, once you become familiar with PHI, there's no going back. You incorporate that into everything you're doing. And that's why I think it's so fantastic that there's so many of you together in one firm have jumped in all together. I think it'll be great for the industry, great for your company.
I also added it adds something to the name of Diamond Schmitt to know that they, as a company, are behind the idea of Passive House, and to support all of us in taking the exam, and as well as creating this committee with Christina and Nigel, just speaks a lot about where the company wants to go with it. And I think it's a great motion forward. It's starting this momentum where we can all start to feel validated in doing what we know, what we've learned through Passive House, and apply that to a lot of the projects that we're working on.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I just like to add to you guys is this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, like, it just got started in the Passive House, world. Of course, for you guys, feels natural. It's, as I like to say, it's only applying physics, where they're supposed to be applied, and only applying the good practices on buildings. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of information already there. I mean, like, there are a lot of meetings for you to attend after work, during work, whenever you can. But that's just the beginning. And one thing that Chris Ballard says very, right on the point, it's Passive House community does share a lot. I mean, like, they want you to know where were the mistakes so you don't make them anymore, and that's the beauty of it. So, I just want to honestly thank you. It's very nice to see you all once again. I mean, like, we exchanged some emails, but it's nice to see your faces here again. And I wish you all the best. Honestly, hopefully we're gonna be meeting at some point, personally.
Thank you very much, everyone. Look forward to seeing you at future Passive House events. One big thing I've really learned about Passive House Canada is how passionate folks are, but how they like to share. It's a really great sharing community. And I invite you and welcome you to be part of it. So once again, congratulations and thank you very much. And thank you to Diamond Schmitt for the leadership that it has shown in putting you forward in this. So good work. We will see you around town. I look forward to seeing your work in future years and say, I know them. I've met them. Good stuff, people. Take care.